Hello everyone, my name is Dmitry Gritsenko, and in this video I want to show you some updates about theoretical Rook endgames. So if you did not see my last video about Rook and a pawn against Rook, of course I want to recommend you to do this. And in this video I want to show you position when White has two extra pawn, but in some positions it is winning for White, and also in some positions it will be draw. So let me show you this position. So at first White has two extra pawns and also one pawn on 7th rank, and Rook in front on this pawn, and also Black Rooks also on the A pawn, and King on G7, so G7 and H7 two best squares for Black King. And now also White has two pawns, and second pawn is on G5, so on G rank. Also on H5 it will be draw like on G5, and of course let me show you why it is a draw. So in this position, of course, White can do a G6 move, and of course White hope that Black takes this pawn, and after taking this pawn, of course it is winning position, because White has Rook G8 check, and then after King F7 and so on, we can simply promote our pawn, and of course it is winning position for White. But of course after G6, let me show you, after G6 Black can simply do a Rook's move like Rook A2, Rook A3, Rook A4 and so on, and of course now King must stay on G7, and right idea for Black, this is Rook A2 or maybe Rook A3, and then after Rook A2, for example, King F3, next is Rook A3 check, or maybe another move on A file, King E2, Rook A2 check, so Black can do checks when they can. And of course if Black cannot check White King, Black can simply do move on A file like Rook A1 or Rook A6, Rook A5 for example. And if White King goes to B6, of course when King goes to B6 we must do Rook B1 check, because if we don't do this check, White can promote our pawn, because pawn now protected with the king. So Rook B8, and next one is A8 with the queen. So that's why we must do the check, Rook B1 check, and after King C6 or maybe King A6, A6, we can simply Rook A1, and this is a draw. Of course White can sacrifice pawn on A7, but this is also a draw. For example, let me show you some moves. So White can goes King to F5, and in some moment sacrifice pawn on A7 like Rook E8 or so on. But of course we must do this pawn, and this is also a draw, because White cannot improve this position. White cannot promote pawn on G6, and also Black's idea is Rook A5 check, or maybe simply Rook can stand on the 7th rank. This is also a draw. And we can see that if White has pawn on G5 or pawn on H5, this is a draw. But if White has pawn on F file and also on E, D and so on, so this is winning position for White, because in this position White can check Black King, and after F6 there is no way to stop promotion of one of white pawns. For example, if black simply takes this pawn, then white has check, and another way to win a8 with the queen. And also, of course, if black now drew king h7 move, of course white can promote pawn f7, and next is f8 with the queen. And also, if black can do a logical move like king f7, of course we know this tactic, and this is rook h8, only one way to win in this position. But of course, after rook h8 we can win black rook and win in the future. For example, rook a7, now rook h7 check, and then we can take rook on a7, and this is completely winning position, of course, for white. So I hope that you enjoy and understand all of these positions. So if black has a two extra pawn and one of this pawn on g on h5, this is a draw. But if white has a pawn on f, e, d, and so on lines, this is completely winning position for white, because black king cannot stop all of these pawns. So I hope you like my video. Goodbye and see you next time.